everyone, and welcome to today's session on colorectal cancer and its connection with gut health, or basically our digestive system. Considering the month of March is regarded as Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month, let us understand this condition and its link with our digestive health in a much better way today. I'm Prachi, Head Nutritionist and Lifestyle Expert and Head of Cancer Vertical with Team Blue. Before we begin, let me mention that for the ease of communication, I shall refer to colorectal cancer as CRC in the session. So, colorectal cancer or CRC is simply the cancer of the colon or the large intestine or bowel that we call, and of the rectum, which is the end part of the colon. It is the third most common cancer diagnosed in both men and women worldwide, and it's in fact increasing at an alarming rate, especially among younger adults. Now, CRC, or for that matter, any cancer, arises from a gene mutation. There is some change that happens in the DNA of a cell which causes the cells to grow abnormally. There are many factors which can lead to this. Hence, we say that cancer is multifactorial. Anything that can affect our immunity chronically or lead to chronic inflammation can make one more susceptible to cancer. And most of these factors are related to a faulty lifestyle. Now, talking particularly about CRC, it is extremely crucial to take care of your digestive system or gut, as we call it, because any chronic issues with gut health can make one more susceptible to CRC too. There are many factors to consider in that case. To begin with, the first and the most important factor is compromised gut health. We cannot stress enough on the crucial role gut health plays, especially in building immunity. You would be surprised to know that our gut controls 75 to 80% of our immunity, and thus a compromised gut can weaken immunity and increase susceptibility to CRC. Now, what do I mean by compromised? Normally, the waste matter which needs to be thrown out of the body moves from the colon to the rectum where it is stored until it passes out through the anus as stools by defecation. But in case of issues like chronic constipation, all this waste, which should ideally be thrown out of the body regularly, gets accumulated and stored in the colon so that the toxic wastes and gases are then reabsorbed in the body and they get back into our circulation, in turn increasing inflammation and toxicity in the body. And this is what increases the risk of CRC. Also, some tend to ignore, nature's call to empty the bowels, considering they are, occupied with their work or busy in the kitchen and so on. But please do not do that. By doing that, you are actually restricting, the natural flow of toxins out of the body. And if done otherwise, it again gets back into our circulation. Hence, it is very important to empty the bowels and visit the washroom whenever you get the urge, you know, at that time itself. The other most common, gut issue is excessive and chronic acidity. People tend to ignore it and, pop in antacids, medications, thinking it is solving the issue, but it is just giving temporary relief. Chronic acidity tends to inflame the gut lining and it also makes the system more acidic. And therefore, both of these, reasons, if not treated on time, can lead to a gene mutation and thus cancer like CRC as well. We are so busy in a fast-paced life today that we just tend to opt for, easy fixes, either pop antacids, laxatives, or painkillers, thinking it is fixing the issue and just ignore it. But what we do not realize is that our body is giving these warning signs which need to be addressed and worked upon by looking at the root cause and managed at the earliest. Like for constipation, lifestyle habits as simple as lack of water intake, fiber intake, or improper food habits could be the issue that needs to be fixed first. For acidity, it could be having longer or very short meal gaps, or having too acidic and spicy foods, or having too much of processed foods, and so on. Here, I would also like to mention that symptoms like constipation, recurrent diarrhea, excessive abdominal cramps, pain, blood in stool could actually be some of the indicators of CRC. Hence, please do not ignore them and to help with early screening and diagnosis of CRC as well. The other aspect in case of gut issues is that people with inflammatory bowel disease, that is IBD, including Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, which involves chronic and excessive inflammation of the colon, are also more susceptible to getting CRC. Hence, it is important to manage these disorders on time and in a holistic way. Luke and our team have made many videos on such gut related issues. You all can watch them separately to help with holistic and effective management of these issues. The other aspect to talk about and be careful about, when it comes to gut health is unhealthy eating habits. It has been found that having a food routine high in refined white sugar, salt, saturated and trans fats, non-veg and processed meats, and which is low on fiber, fruits, veggies, and whole grains, was found to increase the risk of CRC. We need to strictly, stop having refined white sugar completely because cancer cells feed on sugar. It also increases inflammation and makes the body extremely acidic, thus weakening our immunity. We also need to be aware of the hidden forms of sugar. Get into the habit of reading food labels. You may come across words like high fructose corn syrup, malt syrup, cane crystals, cane sugar, maltodextrin, and so on these packaged foods, all of which are forms of sugar. One can instead opt for natural sweeteners like organic jaggery, raw honey, dates, dried stevia leaves, but of course in moderation. Also, we need to avoid or restrict things made out of refined flour, which is maida, like biscuits, pizzas, pastas, bakery items, and so on. We can very well make and opt for healthier and interesting versions of these food items, for which you can check the recipe corner on our website for the same. Coming to aerated drinks, I know so many people who, when thirsty, opt for such aerated drinks and think it is absolutely okay to replace water with it to quench thirst. But they are highly mistaken. Aerated drinks contain nothing but high fructose corn syrup, which is again a form of sugar highly detrimental to immunity. In fact, you would need enough water to help flush it out of your system. So best it is to avoid it and offer plain water, which is in fact an important nutrient for the body in terms of immunity and detoxification. You can sometimes flavor water with infusing it with lemon slices, mint leaves, and so on as well, though. Coming to trans fats, they are found in food fried in refined and reused oil, margarine, cream biscuits, bakery items, and so on, which cater to triggering inflammation. It is best to avoid or opt for organic. It is best to opt for organic, cold pressed and wood churned oils like coconut oil, groundnut oil, sesame oil, and so on. Organically, and ethically sourced A2 cow's ghee is good to go too. Also, please avoid reusing reheating oils. People mostly tend to reuse the oil used for frying. But please understand that reheating oil causes change in temperature of the oil from hot to cold to hot again, which affects the chemical structure of the oil, making it more potent to cause inflammation in the body and lower immunity further. So please avoid doing it. Also, remember that burger or French fries from your favorite joint are all made in reused and refined oils. So let us be more aware of it. Now, in case of non-veg or processed meat, studies suggest that a food routine high in red meat, such as beef, lamb, and especially processed meats like sausages, hot dogs, salami, ham, bacon, almost consumed daily, can increase the risk of CRC. Processed meat is basically the meat preserved by methods like smoking, curing, salting, or adding preservatives. Best is to avoid such processed meats and red meat consumption may be restricted to once a month. Also, these days, these animals are pumped with antibiotics and hormones for their meat, which in turn can impact our hormonal system and immunity. Hence, We need to be aware of the same and opt for ethically sourced organic hormone-free meat in moderation. Next, it has been found that a food routine low in fruits and vegetables, whole grains, further increases the risk of CRC. Hence, having balanced meals is extremely important. Also, lack of water intake, which is such a simple and important nutrient in itself, but often neglected as well. It is extremely crucial, nutrient not just for the gut health and keeping the bowels clean, but to also keep up with one's immunity. It is thus very essential to keep yourself well hydrated. You may want to keep up with an average of 2.5 to 3 liters of water and healthy fluid intake through the day. But of course, people with kidney issues or specific water restrictions need to abide by their restriction. Now, coming to a very important point when it comes to gut health is the imbalance of, gut microbiome. There are several thousands of both, good and bad bacteria in our gut. A lot of our health issues, right from poor gut health, indigestion, bloating, occurs when the ratio of these bad bacteria overpowers good bacteria in our gut. And for a healthy gut, it is always desirable for the good gut bacteria to overpower. Now, these good gut microbes are called probiotics, while the prebiotics are mainly specific type of dietary fiber that feed the probiotics in the gut. Example, onion, garlic, leeks, oats, etc. are the examples of prebiotics. Sugar, refined, carbohydrates, processed food feed bad bacteria and hence all the more should be avoided. With respect to CRC risk, these probiotics produce certain compounds which help protect the colon cells from harmful effects of chemicals, bad bacteria, and so on. And they also help with building immunity through the gut and reduce inflammation in the body, which helps reducing the risk of cancer. Simplest examples of probiotic is, rice kanji, wherein 1 to 2 spoons of cooked and cooled rice is soaked in water in a clay pot overnight and it is consumed first thing in the morning. One may want to opt for a probiotic supplement as well, but do it under the supervision of your medical practitioner. Next, I would like to talk about something called as resistant starch. It is a type of prebiotic starch or fiber which is resistant to digestion in the digestive system. Once it reaches the colon, it feeds the good gut bacteria and increases the production of certain short chain fatty acids called butyric acid, which is known to reduce inflammation and have a protective effect on the colon cells, thus helping in reducing the risk of CRC. Examples of resistant starch is raw green banana or its flour, or even cooked and cooled potato or rice. Even rice kanji is a good example of the same. In case of green banana flour, one can have about a teaspoon with water on an empty stomach or 30 to 45 minutes post meal once a day. You can in fact visit our UK Lifestyle website to get clean and organic raw banana flour or for that matter, any clean and natural products. So these were the key factors we need to keep in mind when it comes to colorectal cancer or its prevention by taking care of our gut health. The key message I would, like you all to take from this session is to truly value and take care of your gut health, which is, very often neglected and, taken for granted, which is dangerous. Do it through taking care of these factors that we discussed and working on the 4 pillars of lifestyle, namely cellular nutrition, adequate movement and exercise, quality sleep, and managing your emotional health. Because remember that how much ever costly or specific immunity boosting foods or supplements you may pop to reduce the cancer risk, but until your gut health is fixed, nothing will work because all of these foods need to be digested, absorbed through the gut itself in the first place. So let us be more aware of this fact as well. In case of any queries related to this topic or to know more about our cancer care programs, do visit our website www.coutinho.com. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.